up, guys? So in today's live, we are going to continue on our herbal medicine making journey, and we are going to be learning and continuing to learn how to turn herbs or dried herbs into a sustainable medicine that is shelf stable and lasts for an extremely long period of time. So remember, as you're working with these herbs and as you're doing this process, you're going to come to find out that it's very, very easy and simple, and you can do it yourself with most herbs that you find as long as you properly identify them first. All right, guys? Remember, proper identification is key. That's first and foremost. But then after you've properly identified things, you can easily take the medicinal value out of these herbs and keep it for you and your family to use in a tincture form. And a lot of these tinctures are going to replace what you would use pharmaceutically, naturally, and so it's really easy to just slip these into your normal lifestyle and aid yourself in a natural way. And pretty soon you'll be able to see that you can grow all of these in the United States. Most herbs grow very easily because most people think they're weeds. Hi, Devo! How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Nice to see you. So yeah, it's a really interesting and fun process, and I've learned as I've done it more and more and incorporated more and more into my home apothecary, and then I have lots of other shelves, because this is really for your home apothecary. It's for you and your family. It's for you to figure out what is the most natural thing for you guys to do. And for us, it turns out that these are really the most natural thing to do. Your body really receives herbal medicine extremely well, and it's really, really easy to get this medicine extracted from the plant material. You can use lots of different menstruums, which is just the liquid you use to pull out the medicinal value of the plants. Okay, so there's a lot to learn with it, and it's really simple, so I want to just get started. If you joined me before, welcome again, welcome back. We're just going to kind of continue off where we left in before, and we will go from there. Okay, so I'm going to start with lavender today. We're going to make a lavender tincture, and we're using a vodka menstruum. Oh, what'd she say? Devo, I'm good, ready to learn. Awesome. Yeah, take notes. It's exciting. I really enjoy this. Now, if you're making a lavender tincture that you want to smell good, vodka menstruum isn't the one you're going to want to use to pull out the smell necessarily. The smell is more water soluble, so you can get it, but it's kind of harsh with it. So just watch out. If you're going for the smell, it's not really what it's pulling out. It's going to pull out its medicinal compound. So I don't know if you can see that close. Look close. Those are beautiful dried lavender flowers, just gorgeous. We're going to use dried materials to make sure nothing molds. I think I've mentioned that in other videos, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is a jar of any size. You're going to need a ring and then a lid, all right? A lid needs to be coated with wax material on it, so you make sure that it doesn't rust during your process. If it rusts during your tincture process, that's a bummer. I wouldn't use that tincture. Okay, so lavender is a great one for like mood enhancer, headache relief, alleviates cough, asthma. It's a nice one to just have around the house. Remember, when you're making tincture, you don't want to make it right when you need it, because it needs to steep for 4 to 6 weeks. So you make it before you need it, which is really good about, preparing in advance. So if you're one of those people that likes to prepare, this might be for you. Okay, so you're going to pour in your dried herb till your jar is about halfway full. I'm using dried herbs, so my jar is always going to be about halfway full, no matter what size jar you have, okay? But if you're using wet herb or fresh plant material, then your jar is going to be about 3/4 of the way full. This is depending on what herbalist you ask. And this is how we do it. Okay, so for the menstruum, like I said, you're going to use a vodka or any sort of alcohol that's at least 80 proof. At least 80 proof, okay? You can use like regular vodka, rum, whiskey, gin. Just don't use anything that's flavored. Okay, so you're going to pour your vodka. Guys, I love a lot of these stainless steel little funnels for this. Oh, I've got to take off the annoying thing on the end. Where's my scissors? So this little piece on the end, it always kind of bubbles up on me. Okay, so you're going to pour that in, fill your cup up all the way to the top. Sorry, hope I can see it. Okay. Then you're going to take your funnel off, put it in a clean place, put your lid on, and then put on your ring. And then you're going to shake it. Thanks for sharing. Okay, and then you're going to open it back up. And you're going to notice that your dried herbs, this is what it looks like right now. It's going to get a lot darker, a whole lot darker. But your dried herb has really drank a lot of your menstruum, so you're going to want to go ahead and top it off and pour in a little bit more. All right. Now my lavender tincture is ready to macerate and steep, what I like to say. You're going to shake it, shake it, shake it, and you're going to label. Oh, I saw something about a head chip. Head chip. Did I miss something, William? Sorry. Head chip, huh? Maybe my hat. I don't know. Okay, so you're going to use any kind of label that you want. I just like to put it on the front of the bottle because when I look at the jars, it's really easy for me to pick this up and be like, oh, this was burdock root. I used a vodka menstruum from 12624, right? I mean, natural blood cleanser, really easy to do that. So that's what I like to do. That's what I recommend you doing in your home apothecary because it becomes really easy for you to keep track of things. And then other people can come and kind of pull it out of your apothecary as well. Very easy. Okay, so I'm going to write lavender tincture, vodka menstruum, and today's date, which is 2/2/24. And then I'm going to go ahead and put for headache and stress relief. Because that's when I would go to grab this if I needed that in my life. Well, if I don't need that in my life and if it just came into my life. So it's already really a nice purple, you guys. It's really cool how quickly it's going to start to change. Really neat. So yeah, you'll shake it every day and you'll start to notice that it just becomes darker and different and smells really good. Don't open it up every day, but when you do finally open it up, it's going to smell really good. Okay, so you're going to sit these in a dark place when we're done. For now, they're going to go back here. And maybe I'll put this one up here so you can see it a little bit better. Okay? All right. Hopefully I didn't miss any comments. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you. All right, we're going to do the next one. Okay, so chamomile is another one that I like to have on hand. Chamomile is fantastic. I do the flowers. Make sure it's dried flowers. That's just kind of my thing. When I tincture, I don't like to have to worry about mold or anything like that, so I'm always doing dried flowers. And I have tons of these. You can get them off like to anywhere. I have a lot of them. There's also some in my TikTok shop. I have a lot of like tincture stuff in my TikTok shop if you're looking for tincture stuff. Okay, so chamomile, I use the dried flowers like I said. It's really calming, you know, reduces stress. It's also really good for like immune support and any like menstrual period issues, anything menstruation wise. Chamomile is, and one that most people don't really know about, but it does do that. Okay, so you're going to fill your cup. Now, this is a little bit more of a buoyant herb, so instead of going halfway, I'm going to go a little bit more than halfway because I'm not going to get the same amount from this herb like I would have gotten from the lavender, just because it lays a little bit nicer. All right? So I'm about 3/4 of the way up. Chamomile, also great for muscle spasms, guys. Beautiful. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing. Because I'm making tincture, I'm going to grab my alcohol of choice. And I'm going to fill it the rest of the way up with alcohol. Again, making sure it's not flavored if you just joined. At least 80 proof. Fill a little bit more. Okay. Move that to the side. All right, now I'm going to put my lid on. And I'm going to give it a nice shake. Shake it, make it. Let's see. Lavender promotes menstruation. Yeah, it's really, really good for menstruation. Lavender, sorry, chamomile. Chamomile. Where did you learn all this cool stuff? A lot of rabbit holes. No, you started off with like the herbs around me and then figured it out. There's a lot of really cool ways to learn herbal medicine very easily. I did go to the Chestnut School of Herbal Medicine and never graduated from there or anything. I went later on in my herbal career to see what I was kind of like missing. Books did me well. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, honestly, like, there's a lot of resources out there that are available online that you can really use and learn a lot just around you. I recommend learning the ones that grow around you, or at least the ones you like to grow in your garden, and then you don't have to pay for any of the herbs. You can just go or forage, you guys, go foraging. There's so much in me around Missouri, and if you live in Missouri or the central United States, you're going to see there's a lot for you, too. Rabbit holes. I know, Devo, seriously, but that is where it started. That is where it started, girl. Oh, sorry. Okay. So, yeah, you said you're so interested in this. Well, let me tell you, it's an easy process. Let me show you. All right, so Do you not worry about the chamomile not being covered by the alcohol all the time? We're going to get there. Don't worry. Sorry, I was only halfway through. So yeah, really great point. You definitely want to keep your herb covered by the menstruum that it's macerating and soaking in. And so that's why we always do the double shake. So first we're going to do the one, and then we're going to go back. We're going to kind of debubble it if you're used to canning, kind of like the debubbling method. And then look how much my herb drank. Just like my lavender. Oh my gosh, you guys, look how much my herb drank. A lot, okay? Especially because it's in dry herb form. It's not like a fresh chamomile that I'm doing. So I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way with alcohol. Good point there. We don't want any mold in our tincture. Now, if you're shaking every single day, you shouldn't have to worry about that anyways. But, very good point. Okay, I'm just starting to learn, so I was curious. Nice, Kinsey, that's exactly right. Make sure, it's not on your lip or it's going to pour all over you. If you've seen some of my other lives, you know why I'm doing this. Devo, don't laugh. Okay. And on my lid. So it's really important to clean them. I usually have a basket of lids and rings for that second shake, but you just want to make sure you get it soaked. Pretty soaked in there. Okay, then put the lid back on. I'll switch out my lid. So here's what I'm talking about on the lip, you guys. See how it's got like herb around on that part that's orange? That's what I'm saying, is like don't have anything up on there, because then when you go to close it and shake it, it's going to just go everywhere. Not the same as canning where you're trying to like get that tight seal in any way, but you're just not trying to spill it everywhere. Okay. Who makes my hat? I don't know. I think I added it to my TikTok shop though earlier because someone was asking me. So I added a similar one to my TikTok shop if you want to check it out. But I got it on Amazon. I haven't started anything myself yet, but I'm growing my herbs this year and going to make stuff. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Keep growing. There's some already growing. There's chicory out. There's plantain. You're going to find dead nettle. I definitely saw wild lettuce, dandelion. I saw a bunch growing already. I don't know where you are. Okay. So, I've got it shook now. You can tell my water's kind of like yellowish, compared with my lavender I just did. I say, So the lavender I just did compared with the chamomile, look at that. Already such a stark difference. And it's so pretty. Sorry. It is. Oh, you're in Colorado. You're getting snow tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know what you've got popping up over there. I'd love to come check it out. Wonder what's going on in Colorado. If you're an herbalist in Colorado or you know anything that's growing, I'd love to know what's growing in Colorado. So pretty. It is so pretty. Okay, so already such a stark difference. I mean, these are ones that were done last week. Like, look at my black cohosh. Wow, that's already tons of coloration, and that's only a week, guys. Thank you, EB. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, it goes quick. But that's for menstrual support. All right, so you're going to label your chamomile. Don't forget to label. Really important. They may look like you know what it is right now, but wait till you start mixing tinctures together. Thank you for whatever that was. Thank you. Okay, so we've got a chamomile tincture. And it was the chamomile flowers. You can put that if you want to. Vodka menstruum. I'm like, wow, what else did I put on my label? That's funny. Today's date, 2/2/24. Don't forget the year. All my people who've been with me know what I'm talking about. And, oh, sorry, that's messy. And then I'm going to put, why I made it. What was my intent by this? Well, my intent by this is, stress relief, soothing. You can choose one of those and decide what you want to put. Great for relaxation, sleep, sleep aid. So if you're looking for that, or maybe like stress relief, and so you'd rather put stress. Doesn't really matter what you put, but doesn't matter. Hi, Raising Cane. Hey, Raising Canes, how are you? Good to see you, girl. Thanks for joining the live. Okay, chamomile tincture, vodka menstruum, 2/2/24. All right, we're going to put stress relief and sleep aid, okay? And then like all tinctures, we're going to let this just sit and chill and do its thing for 4 to 6 weeks, you guys, in a cool, dark place, shaking it once every day. No big deal, okay? If you miss a day or two, no worries in there. All right, the goal is to shake it, really get everything mixed around nice and well. All the surface area alcoholed up, pulled out the medicinal value. So that's what you're looking at. That's our chamomile tincture, and you're going to add that on the shelf. Okay, let's see if I got some comments really quickly before we go to another one. I hear one that says, how rude that you're answering other questions and not mine. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I don't do anything on purpose. How do you use tinctures? You can use tinctures in all ways. You take them sublingually into your tongue. I'm going back to find your question. Don't worry, don't worry. You can mix them in salve. You can use them to make an elixir, some sorts with honey. Okay, Caliqueen, hi. Anything for Alzheimer's that's not yet being treated by a doctor? Yeah, sure, definitely. Turmeric is highly recommended. What's also recommended is like a distilled water fast. I'm scrolling up to find your comment, don't you worry. Distilled water fast, not with the food, but just with the water. Oops, with the water itself. It'll pull all that stuff out. And then they can start taking things that are going to promote their brain. Rosemary, turmeric, ginkgo. So these are things that I recommend them start to do. And also watch out for pharmaceuticals or anything like that. But man, you'd be shocked at what distilled water would do. Also copper. I've got copper back here. Copper water is super good for Alzheimer's. Look up some of that research. It's shocking. So get yourself some of that. That's what I'd recommend. Rheumatoid arthritis, a lot of anti-inflammatories are highly recommended for that. So you're going to be looking at dandelion root, burdock root, dandelion leaves. A lot of your culinary herbs are actually really anti-inflammatory as well. So like thyme, oregano, basil. Tulsi basil is really great. So those are anti-inflammatory ones. Let me go back up. I'm still looking. I will find it. Oh, hello. Can you help cure thyroidism? Yeah, sorry, definitely. So curing... I don't do, your body does, but I can help you find some of the right things that you can do for it. So definitely it's like usually a lack of iodine. Something that I've seen in a lot of clients is they're not getting enough iodine when they have like a thyroid issue, which is very funny because I've heard that doctors recommend the exact opposite, is like stay away from thyroid and salt, iodine and salt. Don't get too much, you're going to hurt yourself. That's actually what you need from an herbalist standpoint. So iodine is huge in that, and I've seen most people really do lack it because of all the bad rep that salt gets, iodized salt gets, and I'm not speculating as to why other than, I don't know, we really do need it. It's a trace mineral that we do require. So make sure that you do get iodine. Really, really good for you and your thyroid. But another thing that you can do for thyroid, again, copper water, you guys, another trace mineral we're not getting enough of in our lives. It's really shocking what we're not getting enough of. And a lot of those trace minerals end up showing themselves, the lack thereof or the deficiency of trace minerals will show itself as a health issue or something with the thyroid or deficiency in that way. So anything with sleep, weight management, thyroid stuff, I usually tell clients to try a little more iodine first. So hopefully I got your question. Sorry about that. Okay, Becky, I have a ton of tinctures I've made, still learning, but I love it. Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad. It's really, really fun, just as long as you're working with safe plants and you foraged it the right way, or you grow it yourself, or know what you're just make sure you know what you're looking for. Always what I recommend to clients, because you can also hurt yourself and hurt a client. I mean, that's thumbs down. You don't want to hurt yourself or hurt a client. All right, lion's mane mushroom. Thank you, Greg. I really appreciate that. Yeah, man, lion's mane's fantastic. A lot of mushrooms are really, really good. Turkey tail, a lot of mushrooms are really, really good. For a lot of different issues. I'm diving more into the mushroom world. I feel more comfortable on the herbal side, so if you know a lot about mushrooms, please put them in the comments. I love this, you guys. Thank you. I love to learn from my viewers just like I'm hoping they learn from me, or at least getting entertained is what I always say. Hi from Humboldt County. Hi, Bluebird. Thank you. Okay, let's see. So I think I got everybody. Hi from Louisiana. How rude. Okay, I think I got everyone. All right. How long fast? So, to pull out, are you talking about the distilled water fast? So if you're talking about the distilled water fast, you're going to want to make sure that at least a 2-week fast of only drinking distilled water. You can eat the other foods you're eating. I highly recommend like a whole food plant-based diet during that time as well. It's not required, but it would really be beneficial during that time. Because what you're wanting to do is really clean out your receptors that your body has, the natural receptors, in order to be able to receive the herbal medicine. Right now, there's a lot of mucus in our body. That's due to our diet. Our diet's not good. American diet, I mean. American diet in general is just really not a good diet. And so, unfortunately, our body creates a lot of excess mucus in order to fight off what it believes is a lot of toxic crap going into its system. And so it does that via mucus. And so we have a lot of excess mucus along with a lot of other things. Don't get me wrong. It's not just that. But the excess mucus is what sometimes will block a person's receptivity to a liver cleanse, right? Or to some sort of herbal treatment. And so I always highly recommend, if you're going to start something for any sort of like long-term condition, chronic condition, then you want to make sure first you've done your distilled water cleanse so you can get as most out of the herbal medicine as possible. That was a long answer to hopefully your question. Okay, how about elevated high blood pressure? You know what? Let's get to elevated blood pressure with hawthorn. I was going to make hawthorn tinctures, so let's go ahead and make a hawthorn tincture. and talk about how you can use that for high blood pressure. And you know what? Again, copper comes to mind. I think it's because it's like in my view as I'm staring here, my picture's in my view. Copper water, again, you guys, really, really good for heart health too. You can look all this stuff. This is a lot of peer-reviewed research out there on copper water. My goodness, get some copper water in your life. You're going to be shocked to see some of that. Or have like your loved one wear a copper bracelet. They're going to be stoked about that and the benefits it provides. But on the herbal side, we're going to focus on hawthorn for that. There's a lot of other plants, but today I was like, you know what? That's so funny. I already had hawthorn on my mind, so let's talk about it. Hawthorn leaves, hawthorn flowers. I actually even use the hawthorn stem sometimes, which you might be able to see in here as I open that up. Hawthorn is fantastic in the berries itself for all of those, high blood pressure, heart stuff, anything like that. You're kind of just going to go to hawthorn. Leaves and flowers are kind of just my go-to, as you can see. Yeah, there's a bunch of flowers in there. Right, there's a bunch. I don't know. That's better. There you go. You can see that better. So yeah, that's what I use. Really good. It actually strengthens the heart muscle itself, so that's pretty cool too. And regulates blood pressure and all that sorts of things. So you're going to do the same method. It's very, very easy, and it's something you can make. A tincture, something you would take daily to kind of get that regulated. And once it's regulated, your body doesn't need it anymore and doesn't need to continually have something like that. These tinctures and herbal medicine in general is meant to kind of reset your body back to a state where it can heal itself appropriately again, where it's not overly imbalanced in one area, which is kind of what it's just, it's a byproduct of today's life, you guys, is that a lot of us are overly imbalanced or overly unbalanced in a lot of areas. And so I've seen deficiencies in a lot of different minerals and stuff, and that can lead to long-term effects, which is what we're seeing, but you can easily reset it with herbs. That was a long one. Okay. Here we go. You're going to need your jar. Any size, right? Because all you're doing is you're going to fill it up 3/4 of the way full. It doesn't matter what size jar you have. And you've got dried hawthorn. Pour it into your jar. About halfway. Like I said, if you're using fresh hawthorn, leaves, and flowers, then you're going to do 3/4 of the way. It's because it's got a lot of water content in there, and that's why when it's fresh like that, there's a lot more water content. And so you're just worried about mold, and you're worried about different things like that. And so you want to watch out for those sorts of things if you're dealing with fresh material. But you can definitely use fresh material. I use it all the time. It just happens to be February, so I don't have everything I have on hand was from last year. Gut health. Okay, so gut health in general, turmeric and neem come to mind. Turmeric and neem are like the first two things I think of when I think of gut health. They're not the only things though. Again, any deficiency in any of those trace minerals could be problematic. You guys get one copper mug and put water in there and drink it during the day. You're going to correct a lot of these gut health issues. It's very strange. But yeah, turmeric and neem come to mind. Dandelion root is another one that comes to mind for gut health. Burdock root is a blood cleanser, so technically it's going to clean out liver and kidneys as it's going through, which is also beneficial to gut health. Let's see what else. I mean, those are ones that come to mind off the top of my head. Welcome, Z. So informative. Thank you. Appreciate you, Raising Canes. Is there a homemade penicillin? Well, so that's quite interesting. So, excuse me. Any antibiotics in general are meant to only focus on one certain strand. So there's tons of different strands of antibiotics and probiotics and prebiotics and all sorts of stuff, just like kind of like vaccines, all right? So to say, is there just one for one certain thing? No. But you can boost your immune system to a certain level where lots of things won't affect you. In fact, I've talked about this on lots of lives, and I'm so sorry if you've heard this before, but like during the Chernobyl incident, people that had been living in a certain area where they naturally had a lot of things that really impacted their immune system in a positive way were not impacted by Chernobyl's low immune system effects at all. The radiation that everyone else was getting, the radiation poisoning that basically went in and killed their immune system, they weren't getting that because they just so happened to be living in an area where they had a lot of things around them where their immune systems were amazing. And American doctors, American scientists went and found that out when they went over there and were studying Chernobyl afterwards and the after effects of Chernobyl. So it's quite interesting that if your immune system's super duper strong, I don't know that you would need anything else. So that's kind of where I go with it with clients, and we try to really focus on boosting the immune system all the time. So no matter if we're focusing on like liver or focusing on gut health, it's always also let's focus on the immune system and boosting that up. And that's a great thing about herbs, you guys, is they naturally do that for you. Great stuff. Okay, so is there a homemade penicillin? What do you suggest for Crohn's? Like Crohn's, again, I focus on white blood cell. So I actually have 2 different tinctures that I would highly recommend. You can make them yourself. You can go online and check out every ingredient I put in there and do a tincture just like I'm doing right now. I always tell people you can make all these things yourselves, you guys. But you can go up there. White blood cell support is really, really important when you're dealing with Crohn's, and that's one of the first things you think of. Frankincense, myrrh, those two come to mind off the top of my head when you're dealing with white blood cells. Again, papaya leaf is extremely, really, really good for like the increasing your blood platelet count. And if you get an increase in your blood platelet count, that's really beneficial for the whole system in general and allows, and assists those white blood cells as they also do their work. So those are things I would recommend. Again, go online and check out the other ones. A lot of culinary herbs also really are highly beneficial for our immune systems, you guys. So you're going to see a lot of culinaries in there as well. I mentioned burdock root already. It's a blood cleanser, but it's another one that I would recommend for Crohn's. Okay, let's see what's up. Thank you for educating. Oh, thank you, Lola. You're welcome. Thanks for listening. Be cautious with high iodine with hyperthyroidism. So time to heal, definitely too much of anything. I say this often, so it's a good point to bring up. I say it often. Too much of anything is a bad thing. You always want to be just even keel. Just even keel, you guys. Okay? There's no too much of one thing. You can't just go all out and I found out about colloidal silver and oh my gosh, I love colloidal silver. Right, me too, right? And I know I need so much iodine and oh my gosh, I'm going to shovel salt in my mouth. Don't do that. But when you are using salts, just use a normal amount of it and make sure it's an iodized salt because you need the iodine. And too much of iodine in your system will hurt your thyroid. But too little of it also will hurt your thyroid and can cause things like hyperthyroidism. Okay? So usually what I see in clients is if you get that even keel, you restore those storehouses of iodine, you restore that in the body through that iodized salt, and then they're going to be able to get that normal thyroid function back again. Now, if you've been consuming iodized salt for a month, 2 months, and you're not noticing anything different, and you have stopped taking that thyroid medication and you're not noticing a difference, well, let's delve deeper. Let's figure out what else is going on. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. That's where pharmaceuticals get it wrong. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and I don't know in your day-to-day what you're lacking, what you're deficient of, what you do, what's your exercise level like, what are you eating, all these things you figure out with clients as you go through, and I love doing that, but it's hard to say other than that at this point, but there's lots of things you can do to boost that immune system. That'll help out in general. Okay, but thank you, Time to Heal. I definitely appreciate you. Definitely a great point. Do you have anything from gut health? Yes, we talked about neem earlier. That's a really, really great one. You can also use copper water. I highly recommend. How do you rebuild cartilage in the knees? So quite interesting. There's a lot of studies on a lot of that right now. So first off, what's going on with your knee impact? If you're continuously impacting your knees, make sure you're being really careful. If you're doing proper form when you're running, if it's some sort of physical activity, or if there was an injury there that occurred. I highly recommend yoga. Yoga is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of that. Tai Chi is the second. There's a lot of morning exercises that other countries do on a day-to-day, not even the full countries, honestly, just other cultures do on a day-to-day basis that really help those joints kind of get repaired and repair themselves. And we can assist in that by moving a lot. We don't move enough in this society, and that flow and getting that energy through us can allow our body to bring in the blood flow and bring in the oxygen necessary in order to bring in and increase that cartilage level. Now, when it comes to repairing the cartilage itself and those different things, you're going to want to lean on the side of comfrey and yarrow. Those are the first two that comes to mind. Bone heal's another one. Comfrey, yarrow, those are the ones internally what you'd be looking to focus on in order to get that stuff to come back. But remember, you got to get that blood flowing, you got to get things circulating, you got to get things moving around. But definitely where I would lean. Hopefully that's helpful. Let's see. Can you explain why? Seriously asking, hubby has hyperthyroidism. Yeah, so it's really interesting. You don't want too much of it, Time to Heal, right? You don't want to be literally scooping it in your mouth, but you do need some. And they have shown that hyperthyroidism can happen due to a deficiency in iodine. Now, if you want to take iodine versus the salt factor, make sure you're taking it at the lower ratio. And you want to monitor it after about 2 to 3 weeks of taking it to see how you're feeling, to see what's going on with it, just to see how it's working for you guys. And then make sure you're backing up on the pharmaceuticals safely in a way that your doctor recommends. I'm not your doctor. This is not medical advice, anything like that. But backing off for them so you can really understand if the herbs are working for you. Not every herb has a contraindication with every pharmaceutical. But I don't recommend mixing the two together kind of like choose one and go that route, you know? So, yeah, I hope that answers your questions. But too much of it is going to be bad. Too much of salt is going to be bad, right? Too much iodine is going to be bad. Too much water is going to be bad. Too much sun is going to be bad. Too much, literally, of anything is going to be bad. Okay? So don't do too much of anything. But, like, definitely, moderately including it into your daily life and your daily habits and your daily, food consumption source. No, I wouldn't be worried about overuse of hypothyroidism. And that seems like something that doesn't make sense that comes from these sources of facts that I've talked about in other videos, that if you've been on my other lives, you already know how I feel about facts. They're hilarious. All right, let's see what's up. Any books you recommend on herbs? Yeah, Rosemary Gladstar is fantastic. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies is great. If you're a I did on my TikTok. I've got a really good. Thank you, Daniel. What's up? Thank you. On my TikTok, I've got a really good video that shows, like, I walk you through my herbal book cabinet. I'm just like sitting there and going through my shelf with you. That's a really good one. I have a lot of books in there that I just had at the time. So really good stuff. That's not to say that's what I started with, but everyone's different. Maybe something will call out to you. Cool. Thanks, Becky. Thanks for all the hearts, guys. Feeling the love. Julie, hyperthyroidism is the body's immune system fighting against itself. It can aggravate it. Oh, yeah. So, in general, is your immune system fighting against itself? No, it's going to be fighting against something that it feels like is a foreign invader in yourself. So if your cells happen to be like intertwined with something that's also really bad, like maybe a pharmaceutical you've taken or something in a vaccine or something like that it just reacts to you wrong, well then yeah, it's going to attack itself because it thinks that it is poison. And so they didn't like put like a catch-all in your body that was like, you know, if you start to attack, if the thing that you're fighting starts to actually be yourself, stop fighting it. No, it just starts fighting. It gets intertwined with that and just like keeps going. And so, and it's very strong. And so that seems like the ultimate weapon kind of sometimes to me. And so I always am very careful about what I put in my body that's external. And that's where I think this whole journey started, is to just make sure like I knew what was going on in my body and like I knew what was up in my body and my children's bodies. And yeah, no, I don't trust a lot of that factory stuff going in our stuff. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I don't know if I should have said that, but it's the truth, you guys. I don't know. I don't really trust a lot of it, and that's where the herbal remedies come in, because whether you're like preparing for a disaster situation or whether you're preparing for like everyday life situation, and yeah, my choices in what I allowed my family to put in their body might be different than yours, but isn't it my choice? Is this America? Don't I get that choice? All right. Okay. So moving forward. But yeah, it can aggravate it. Yeah, definitely. Too much of anything can aggravate it. If you want to more, tell me for sure like what you're talking about, but like definitely watch out. Too much of anything could definitely aggravate it, and watch out if you've got immune system stuff going on and you're taking a pharmaceutical. Watch out. I don't know what you're taking. I don't even know what's in half those dang things. Watch out. I'll tell you a story that I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should tell you because it'll make me look like I'm a bad business owner. But you know, I learned from it. Mistakes are mistakes. I feel like we're going to learn from it. So I'm going to tell you anyways. All right, so I had it's shocking what people complain about, right? They don't complain about what's in these pharmaceuticals, but listen to this. And I appreciate you if you're the client on the phone. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so in one of the products, I get a call, and you strain products. Like when you make tincture, I go out and I literally forage for these plants. I'm picking these plants. Like I'm working with real life nature, all right? And at the beginning, when I first started selling products on grandfamfarm.com, check it out, I didn't strain as well as I should have. I didn't do a double straining process, and I should have. I just did a single strain process. Like, yeah, I'm a weirdo. I like that it's cloudy, and I shake it up and I see the medicinal value. It's like an apple cider vinegar, right? You know, so anyways. Well, I didn't strain well enough, and there was like, and I feel so bad that I'm like saying this right now. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I shouldn't be promoting this everywhere. And there's only 65 people on. There was just like an ant inside of it, okay? And my husband was home, and it wasn't even an ant. It was like a piece of an ant. So a lot of people got an ant. Don't worry, throughout the batch after we fixed everything. My face is red. I'm so embarrassed. So when they got this tincture, you know, my husband's packaging products at that point, and we're doing this upstart thing. These people reach out to me, and they're like, Janae, there's like a thorax in my tincture. What's going on with that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, there was probably an ant, in the foraged material when I was, going out and foraging. There was plantain in there, and there was peppermint in there. We have all that growing. Those are things that I forage for. But darn it, should have strained, but me in my mind, and I'm such the weirdo herbalist that is like, protein. What do you mean? Like, do you want to pay me an extra $1 for the ant you got? I'm so sorry. Like, that's like the first thing I'm thinking. But then she's like appalled by it, and so now we double strain. You don't have to worry about any of that. And now, I make sure when I'm drying, I'm checking for ants and stuff. It's not dirt, it's an ant. It's like, well, anyways, all that's to say, these pharmaceutical companies better get the same complaints. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting poison in my medication, poison people, straight poison. Like, come on. I hope they're getting the same complaints. They better be getting the same complaints. And I know they got worse things than an ant growing in their product. But I also appreciate the customer feedback. I also am right there where I appreciate the feedback. Now I've got a double strain process. Appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much. Okay. Are we making a hawthorn tincture, or are we making a hawthorn tincture? I'm so sorry, guys. That's why I love lives, right? And that's why you can become a subscriber and subscribe now, and you get all the notes in a 5-minute breakdown, and you don't have to listen to all the questions. So become a subscriber today. Also, I do lots of subscriber videos, so it's a lot of fun. Okay, how do I get rid of the mucus? In general, distilled water in general, but if you've got like excess mucus, coughing and stuff going on, colloidal silver 100% is what I recommend, or Mullein, okay? Colloidal silver and Mullein, those are the toughest two right now, especially with this heavy, gunky mucus. I know if you watched this before, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself, but the heavy, gunky mucus that we're seeing right now, you guys, man, colloidal silver is key, especially in babies dealing with that RSV. Colloidal silver. Colloidal silver, colloidal silver, colloidal silver. All right, where do you get your copper cups? Oh, they're on my TikTok shop. Check them out. But they really are on my TikTok shop. But I actually got these on Amazon or eBay years ago. They're old. Look at them. I was the weirdo that's been drinking out of copper for a long time. I'm the one in the office drinking out of the copper. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I literally have this one. I don't know if the one on my TikTok shop is as cool as this, but check this out. It says, go get it. Let's go. Let's go. It always hypes me. But I did find a similar one on my TikTok shop because people were asking. But you can get one there. In fact, just saying, sorry. So good for you. We need copper in our lives, people. Don't listen to the ones that say we don't. Oh, you can do whatever you want to do. You're free to do whatever you want to do in this free country. Okay. But I highly recommend not listening to those individuals. So, we've got hawthorn in here. And can you make tea out of it? The copper cup. I do not recommend making tea out of it, Julie. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. I don't heat the copper when I use it. It's a cold water infusion that I like to make, which is literally just pouring water into this copper mug. That's how easy it is to make a cold water infusion with that. The more you let it sit, the more the infusion it is, the more infused it is, the more increased number of ppms, okay? But it's really easy, and you only have to buy one to have it done. I tell people to watch out to make sure, though, it's pure copper inside. Some of them can be silver inside and be like those Moscow mules. I said it yesterday, I know, but watch out. Get pure copper. Great stuff. Won't turn your teeth green. All right, can you make tea out of it? Sorry, I just said that. What else we got going on, people? Sorry about that. And then I'll go ahead and finish making the hawthorn. Really good for your heart and all that. Can copper water be kept refrigerated? Sure, but why? No need. No need. Actually, and you probably like cold water, that's why, I'm assuming. So sure, definitely, 100%. I'm not here to change what you do on a day-to-day, so definitely you can. But it's actually better for your body, and just a side tip note, this is Ayurvedic medicine coming in where I'm getting this information from, but it's actually better and easier on your body to drink room temperature water, or slightly colder than room temperature. Anything in the refrigerator is kind of like a shock on your body, and actually takes energy for it to kind of recollect itself after that. Okay, so I do highly recommend like room temp water, but do whatever you want. It's free country. A good question. But yeah, definitely can be kept in the refrigerator. I also think during an infusion, the warmer up to a certain extent the water or the menstruum you're using, the base you're using, the better. Don't want to heat it too high. Okay, don't want to heat anything too high. And in copper, I'm never heating. So the infusion process happens easier with a room temp water. So maybe you could infuse it during the day and then put it in the fridge if you wanted. Good question. Can you make copper water? Definitely, guys. Look, you just did. Look, here's a copper mug. Where's water? Give me 1 second. I'll make some. Let me grab a bottle of water. this live is about to be over, guys, because my family is about to be home. Well, let me show you. And well, that's why we finished. That's why you subscribe and get the notes, right? Okay, take a pure copper vessel. Doesn't matter what it is. Here's a cup, okay? Pour in water. I have now made copper water. Now, the longer I let it sit there, the better this baby becomes. All right? So let it sit there. You're going to start to even notice some of it, like a skim on the top of it. Drink that. Drink that, drink that, drink that. Now, I like to fill a pitcher and let that sit all day. And then the kiddos can drink out of it. They can pour, because I have cups back here. This is so not what my live was supposed to be about, so hopefully this is helping someone. Sorry. But just, copper cups sitting here for the kids. We just sit them out here, and they can come fill up their little cup, and they love it. It's so great for their immunity, you guys. Immune system, overall health. Here's one I got from Colorado one time. Don't even live in Colorado, just a random trip, but just a mug style. Pretty cool. They have all sorts of copper products. This isn't a pitch for copper, but it is. You're making it too easy for me. But on my TikTok shop, there's a ton of copper stuff. Like I wear copper jewelry all the time. There's a bunch of copper in there. Copper jewelry all right here. TikTok shop, check it out. It's really great. Thanks, Time to Heal. What's up? Okay. Excuse me. And I'm almost done. My family's going to be here soon. We got some big plans. I'm going on a date with my husband tonight. Ooh, very excited. Okay, you probably don't care about that at all. All right, really quickly, we are going to fill your menstruum up, and then I want to answer the rest of these comments because I feel like that's what live is really about, Answering the comments, talking to the people. And then I'm going to put my lid on it, and we'll let this one sit for 4 to 6 weeks, you guys. And then, like I said, it's a daily one for heart health, heart strength. It's actually going to go in there and strengthen the heart. It's insane. Hawthorn's amazing. Earth's plants are amazing. Okay? Let's see what else we got. Fill it up to the top. Don't forget that because you don't want to leave anything kind of hanging out where in case you forget to shake it every day, it could mold, okay? But you're not going to forget. You're going to remember to shake it every day. Okay, there's my hawthorn one. Now you can tell just because hawthorn's so buoyant, once it starts to slowly go up, we'll be able to see its color. Its coloration is not going to be as strong as the other ones we had back here. Don't forget to label it. So I have a hawthorn tincture with a vodka menstruum. Today's date, which is 2/2/24. Don't forget the year. And, well, in general, I'm just going to put heart health. I don't know that I have to get more specific than that because usually when I have a client, or this is for my home apothecary, usually when I have my husband, I don't know, he just needs the hawthorn tincture. Okay, there it is. Very lovely. And I add it to my other tinctures over here. Okay? All right, let's see if there's any more questions. 2020 study of people with mild Alzheimer's disease scored better on 1 gram of lion's mane daily. I love it. That's awesome. Lion's mane's so fantastic, you guys. If you need a mushroom there, that's a great one. Just careful with already taking blood pressure med with hawthorn. Yeah, you guys, definitely. Who's point? Chelsea, great point. Yeah, you guys, if you're taking medications, you need to make sure that you're contacting the herbalist personally. Now, make sure you're looking at the contraindications. I would never recommend to a client that's taking pharmaceuticals to also take herbal medications, okay? Because you don't want them to contraindicate with each other because the herbal medicine will could cause your pharmaceutical to not work, okay? And then you're not taking an herb that is specifically targeted at something like your high blood pressure medication. Maybe you were taking St. John's wort, right? And that doesn't really target it. Okay, my family's here. I'm getting really close to going. I want to see what the rest of the messages are. Hey, guys. You can come in and say hi. Okay. Almost done on cognitive tests. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. I'm almost done. Sorry, guys. I was getting ready to go. Okay, anything for osteoporosis? So, in the end, if you've got these questions, I always hit subscribers up, message subscribers back and forth. If there's not a bunch of them, I like to message other people, but subscribers are number one, and I always hit you up. So Devo, hit me up if you have questions. I saw that maybe you had something on there. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I've really had a lot of fun. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get all the notes from today and then one little 5-minute segment. I don't have to listen to all the questions, which I enjoy, but maybe you don't. All right, guys, talk with you next time. Good luck and good health.